I love the view outside your window, Mary.
Thank you. I know if I worked a little harder, I could get the ring light out of the picture, but.
Hi.
Not matter. Hello.
Hello, Yvonne.
How are you, Sandy?
doing?
Hi, Winter. Hi, Mary.
Okay, hi.
How
All right,
is
looks like we're
everyone?
on Facebook, so I guess I gotta share this, right?
I have to share yours to the group. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We just had a couple of technical issues, which is why we're starting a couple minutes late, because let's face it, it's Mercury retrograde.
Right.
Find
What does
comfort
that even mean?
with several other planets in retrograde. So if you're anything like me, you've been having a bouncy time of it. So, oh wow, look
Only
at
on top.
Hi Denise. Hi Terry. Hi Kim. I missed you. Sandy, do you remember Kim from the Eyes of Learning?
Oh, hello.
And hi
Sandy,
Laura.
how are you?
So, welcome to Spirit Chat with my beautiful co-host Mari and
Hi.
Winter Brook, and we have the lovely, internationally renowned spirit artist Sandy Ingham joining us today. For those of you in the Zoom room, I think you've all seen Sandy work. She's fantastic. One of my high points in demonstrating mediumship was when I got to partner with her and Leo. And I have a funny story, but first I want Mary to say hello, and I'll tell you the funny story, which shows when spirit wants something to happen, they will make sure it does. But first, let me go to Mari and let her say hi to everyone.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm having a little trouble hearing, so I might have to change my mic in just a second, but I am Mari Cartagenova, otherwise known as Media Mari, because my name is way too long to try to figure out how to say. I am a psychic medium and animal communicator, and I also help to find lost pets with the help of spirit, which is very cool. And I'm grateful to be doing the show here with Winter today and welcome our amazing guest, Sandy. I've seen her work. I haven't worked with her, but I've seen her work and it's fantastic. And I'm very interested in hearing about her process and how she connects and does the drawings with spirit. And welcome everybody online and for future replays.
Okay, and just a little bio on me. I'm also a psychic medium, animal communicator, a trance medium, and physical medium with transfiguration. That's my development, of course, was helped by Sandy. She sat with my circle and gave me a lovely drum and helped my circle develop. So Sandy's not only a colleague, she's a mentor, she's one of my best friends. And how did we meet? This is what happens when spirit creates things. So I have a Facebook, which most of you know, and there's almost 5,000 people on it, right? And you make friends with people you don't really know. And Sandy and I apparently were friends on Facebook, but we were in a couple of common groups, but we hadn't really talked. I didn't really know who she was. And I went home for lunch one day, and I'd heard her name, of course, and this spirit walks in, and I just knew he was, very elevated and wise, and he said, invite Sandy Ingham to work with you, as I'm eating my sandwich, and I'm like, okay. So I go on to Facebook, and I looked her up. We'd never really had a conversation. And I messaged her and I said hello. And we start talking and I told her who, I was a psychic medium too in New York, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, did you ever think about coming to New York? And it just so happens she was actually wanting to do that. See, Leo, her guide, is the one that walked into my kitchen, but I didn't know his name or anything. And she said, yes, I'd love to. And, I said, well, great. In fact, if you come, you can work in my office, and I'll even let you stay in my home so you don't have to pay for a hotel. And she said, oh, wonderful. And then the next thing I know, she goes, Mike and I would love that. And all of a sudden I went, oh. Now, I'm a single mom and I had my daughter with me. And it's one thing to invite a little female medium to stay with me, but a strange man I never met staying in my home with my daughter. And I was like, oh, and I was wondering, how am I going to work this out? I got to meet him first. So it just so happened I was going to England. I was going to the Arthur Findlay College, I think, for a week, but I had an overnight stay in London. So I reached out to Sandy. I said, hey, I'm going to be in London. How about we meet up and have lunch? And I'm thinking this way I can, get a good, if I get a bad vibe with the guy, I'll just have him stay at a hotel. Well, she says, oh, no, we can't do that. That's 5 hours. That would be too much, 5 hours each way. I said, oh, no, what am I going to do? Well, 2 or 3 weeks before my scheduled departure, she messages me. She said, guess what, darling? I'm going to be in London the same day that you are. 2 couples from Norway have just booked me to do readings and portraits, and they're paying for Mike and I to stay overnight because we can't do a round trip in one day. And it was for the exact time that my flight was coming in at 10 a.m. and she was free until 5 p.m. And we met up, and he's a doll. Great cooking. Always invite him to your home if you ever have the opportunity. He's a great cook. And it worked out fine. And then she and Mike came, and it was just like, we love work. I love working with her, but it was like a family connection. And that's what happens when you put it in Spirit's hands. They just take care of it. So we had a lovely luncheon. I felt very comfortable. They went off to do their readings, and all was good. So now I'll stop talking because I know the reason most of you tuned in was to hear from the lovely Sandy Ingham. So Sandy, explain to everybody here what you do exactly.
Well, I'm a trance spirit artist and medium. I never refer to myself as being a psychic medium because I don't want to get involved in the psychic side. I'm strictly medium. And of course, the art is where Leo uses my hands to draw the family members in spirit. And hopefully that my medium is talking to at the same time. You never know, though. You might be talking to mum and grandma might get drawn. If not, great grumpy old grumpy old Uncle Greg. Anything's possible. But there's always a meaning. There's always something very special about it. Sorry, just 1 minute. Janet? I don't have a clue what that is, but please write it down. All of you, just write down Janet because I've got that name, Janet. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it at this time, but I have it on. Sorry?
I'll put it in the chat room.
Yeah, if somebody understands it, let me know because I need to find out what this is about. So yes, spirit artist.
Sandy,
Yeah.
my sister.
Sorry, darling, you're broken. Tell me again. I cannot hear you, darling. Winter, help.
Kim's got a bad connection. She's frozen.
Yes. What did she say?
We don't understand because she didn't come through. Oh, Kim, you're back.
I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please say what you wanted to say before you disappear again.
Well, you said Janet.
I
have
did.
a named Jeanette, and she happens to be here today. So I don't know if that's who you're trying to reach into.
Janet, Jeanette, same name in my world. It's just how you pronounce it. So
Can I tell her to come here so that she can hear you? Is that okay?
Yeah.
if that's okay with
She's
I
in
don't
the other room. Hold on.
okay. I know where this is going, don't I? I told you I wasn't doing readings, didn't I?
Yes,
told
you
you.
did, but we really want you to do some.
Yes, and so does someone else here.
I know, I'm glad putting out that energy. So.
See, you put it out, spirit.
I did. I was
Man,
like, I really
that's-
want to see you do a reading because I haven't seen you work and I've heard amazing things and seen your work, but
I wanted to see you work. So I'm excited.
Generally, when we work, I work with a medium like Winter, and I don't speak at all. I go into my trance state, and then from there, Leo uses my hands to draw. Now, the drawings he does will always be relevant, but I cannot tell you why. So we do get words actually written on the pictures as well, or on a separate piece of paper. So it might be like names and dates, and I've got a very, very patient, impatient lady here waiting for this too. And we'll see what this is about in a minute. When they come back, they're not back yet, are
Yes,
they?
they
I
are.
think
They're
she's back. Yeah.
Can we get them up again?
They're here.
I can't see them. Can't see them. My mediumship. Oh, can't hear you either now. Oh, this is fun. Now I can hear
I
you.
see them. Yeah, I don't know how to get them on the screen, but Winter probably does.
They are. I see them. They're on the screen. Their video is on. But I don't know
Maybe-
about your device, Sandy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I can see them all on the top and everybody's device is set up differently.
I can only see you.
Okay.
I can't see anyone else. Is that
So, do you
do I
see
need to-
something on your screen that says view? VI?
me?
Yeah.
You want me to touch the machine?
You can do it.
Oh, yes, I can do it, but it may
You
not,
can
it
do it.
not stay. Bear with me a second. Oh gosh, what do I tell me what to press
So
again?
it should say view. VIEW.
Not there, it doesn't, not there. Remember, this is not a computer, darling, won't you?
Yes, but it
A gallery view. Is that it?
gallery view.
Oh,
Yes, and then what'll happen is you'll see about 8 of us on there.
Yeah. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
Okay, right. One person has her video. So you see the 2 ladies together in the one screen?
That's Kim.
That's right.
And-
Her sister Jeanette.
And you're Janet, Janet,
Yes.
Janet,
Jeanette.
Jeanette, you're Jeanette. Right. Now, unless I'm much mistaken, I'm not doing this. I've got an energy here that I believe has not been long in spirit. 1, 2, 3 max. 1, 2, 3. Within the last 3 years. Would you understand this at all?
Yes.
I need your voice. I work from your voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh no,
Yes.
you're breaking
you-
up again.
this is so bad. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me. And is it a lady that you've
We can
lost?
see you.
I can't. How can I work with no sound? I need the sound
Mother.
of your voice, because it's the frequency that we're tapped into, Leo and I. So I've got someone here I believe to be a lady. Would you understand this? Passed within the last 1, 2, 3 years, max.
Yes.
You
Yes.
understand? And it's
Yes.
a lady.
Yes.
Is it your mum?
Yes.
Well, she's here. And I'm not doing readings tonight, but here we go. So it's really important for you both to know that she's okay. She's here with her mum. She's bringing her mum in here. So I think one of you said that you hoped mum would be there to meet her. She was. She's indicating to me that she slipped away quietly in her sleep, or in a sedated, possibly in a sedated state. Will you understand this?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So it was quite nice in that she just slipped away.
Oh.
I don't really get that she's really, really ill for a long time. It seems to me like, right, here it is, and I'll soon be going sort of scenario. Make sense?
Yes.
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 Oh, you can't see me, can you, darling? She's tapping my chest. I wonder, I have restricted
Yes, I saw
capacity. Restricted lung capacity. Did she have fluid on her lungs? This is what it feels like. Would you know?
She did, because
Yeah.
it's congested.
yes.
Mhm.
She doesn't
Yes.
now. She doesn't now. Now, one of you's got her sunglasses. Who's got them? Who's got Mum's glasses? Come on. Oh, no. She'll tell me anyway.
We have 2 more sisters, so it could be one of the other 2. We have 2 more sisters.
Probably Linda.
Ah,
So it could be
right.
another sister. There's 4 of us.
Right. Okay. That we were also. Do you mean now, Johnny? Now at this time? I'm not quite sure what she's saying here, but she either passed near to a birthday or an anniversary or something of that nature.
Yes, my daughter.
She passed near your daughter's birthday. She's sorry about that. She wouldn't have chosen to. Well, she says that. In fact, she did choose to, because we all choose what we're going to achieve as well. But remember me with love. Your daughter, remember me with love. Who's got the L initial?
Linda.
My sister Linda.
That's right. Okay. She's mentioning Linda. 4. Are you 4?
Yes,
You're 4 children.
yes.
Now, you see, in a normal reading situation, this goes very private now, so I cannot repeat it. Patience is very important. Patience. And you didn't intend to be there today. Jeanette.
I do, what?
No, she wanted to go shopping, and I told her she had to wait till my Zoom.
Mother was coming. You had no chance of shopping, girl. Let me tell you.
I need sneakers.
No chance at all. She had you rounded up. So Linda's your sister. And
Yes.
just a moment. I think I want, sounds like Mark or Mike. Where's that name?
Yeah, his
And
is
don't look
quick.
for them passed over, because they will mention the living. Mark, Mike, Matt.
Michael?
something. Well, Mike, yeah, Michael. You understand this?
It's my sister's son.
Linda's.
No,
Diane.
Diane. We'll
I
get
don't
you
know
confused to a 4.
God. Now, to Michael, there's a big tick there. You call it a check, I think, in America. It's for us. It's a big tick and it's a rubber stamp. So okay, we're going through this. It's okay. That should mean something to you. She'd definitely talk about it more, but not in these circumstances. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Understand.
She's also indicating with a card now that we are close to another occasion that she would normally acknowledge. So again, birthday.
My sister's birthday.
Your sister's birthday, is that Diane?
Yeah, September 29th. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. She's not forgotten. She's not forgotten. She'll never forget any of your birthdays. She's indicating to, you must have been talking about getting together over the Christmas, New Year period.
It did.
No, maybe she's here wigging, she's listening in.
Yep.
That would be good. That would be good. There are things that need to, May. What's the connection with May, darling? She just said May to me.
April, May. What's May? Anything for you for May? When did Stacy get married? August. No, I don't know what May is offhand.
Is it a name? I have to be careful with this because very
my
often.
mother's name was Mary.
Mary. Okay, bad link. Your fault because you've got a bad link. It works for me. All right, don't be my fault. Sorry, darling, I can't help myself. Sense of humor. Okay, so it's Mary. And Mary's who did you say? Who is Mary? Your mum?
The mother.
My mother.
She's the one that's been, let me tell you, she's been with me for hours because keeping Jeanette into the loop because she was trying to escape to go shopping. She's
did.
saying something about, what have you done to your hair? Oh, everything's moved. What's happening? Oh, I'm not used to this stuff. And who's done what to the hair recently?
Did you do?
I had my hair dyed. That's it.
Yeah, my sister had her hair dyed.
Died. She was with you when you did that too. Nothing is left unnoticed. Nothing. Oh, and she indicates that we're writing something. So I think that somebody's written something for her, or just a moment. Is Michael fairly young?
No, 50s.
50. Oh, he's not young then. Okay, because I want a young person who does art, who likes to draw pictures.
Or maybe Christopher.
She mentioned Christopher earlier. I hadn't got round to saying it yet.
Yeah,
That's
Christopher. My great nephew.
Right. Okay. When Mum went home, did Christopher draw a picture or paint a picture for her?
He wasn't born yet.
Oh, he wasn't born yet. Okay. So no, she's showing me a picture that is obviously drawn by a child because the colors are bright and there's a sun and, rays for the sunshine. This is everything's moving. Stop moving, guys. You'll have me drunk.
Yes, that's one of the inconveniences when people lose connections and such. But
So difficult.
Sandy, in deference to Kim's mom, I am going to ask though, because I have these photos of your portraits I wanted to share. Maybe
Go ahead.
No, I want you to wrap up the reading.
Okay, well, it's not my fault. I told you I wasn't doing it. So
No, I understand that. I get it. That's why I said in deference to her mom. It's
my
just that I
sense of
wanna-
humor. My sense of humor. Tons of love from your mum and all
Thank
the
you.
rest of them upstairs. Mum, Dad, they're all upstairs together here.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not sure whether that's her dad or your dad that's upstairs, but she does acknowledge being with Dad. So, okay, thank you for talking to me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
And-
Did not expect this at all. Thank
I
you.
know, but your mother had plans. She wasn't going to miss this opportunity and both of you together. Sorry, I called you Janet instead of Jeanette, but I was close enough. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
Right.
in respect to
Okay.
Kim's mom, Kim is a staunch volunteer for the Eyes of Learning, which is a not-for-profit metaphysical learning organization. And if my memory serves, when you visited one of the times, Sandy, Kim came in for a private reading, and
All
it
right.
actually ended up being the recently passed over founder, correct, Kim?
Correct.
Her whole reading was you channeled or brought through Elaine Resnick. So I think this was Kim's family saying, hey, when she came in privately a couple of years ago, we didn't get a chance to come through because Eyes of Learning business got in the way. And now the scales are balanced, right?
She's made
I didn't
reparation.
think about that, Winter.
Pardon?
Oh,
Didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I let her go on because I got it. Your reading was for the benefit of the Eyes of Learning, which benefits so many individuals on Long Island. Sandy's been a wonderful guest. We've done 2 demonstrations there.
I loved it.
Yeah, and it's a not-for-profit organization, so any funds they generate, they turn around and then donate to other worthy charities. And it's low-cost events. So In fact, if you're interested in Zoom World on November 4th, they didn't get the use of the facility, so we're doing a Zoom program, and I have invited Gary Mannion, who is a friend and colleague of Sandy's, and also
Very good.
I train with, per Sandy's advice, for the physical mediumship. And he will be joining me, and we will be discussing what physical mediumship is. And then in the second half of the program, he and I are going to try a joint trance demonstration for questions and answers, because his trance is pretty cool. But Mari, sweetheart, would you like to ask Sandy a question?
Yeah, well, first of all, that was a very cool reading. So thank you for being here. And I know you weren't planning on doing it, but we really appreciate it. Thank you to the spirit world. I was just curious.
They plan everything anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
We think we're in control, but we're not.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. So, no, I guess my question was, were you an artist prior to doing this work? Or because, I work in the spirit world all the time, but I can't draw at all. So how does that work for you? Were you not artistic, but when they connect with you, you're able to do it? Or were you an artist before? Or I'm curious about that piece of it.
I cannot draw at all. Absolutely cannot draw at all unless I go into trance. And then if you've seen any of our shows at Winter's Place, you'll know that Leo starts every show drawing two people at the same time.
Oh,
with
wow.
each. Have you seen that?
I have not. No, I'm sorry. I haven't.
Yes, he uses both my hands at the same time, and he's drawing two faces. So it might be like mum on this side and her mum on this side, or it could be mum on one side and dad on the other, together coming through.
Wow.
Anybody wants to see that, if they go to my website, Winter Brook Medium, I have a clip of Sandy working with the both of us working together when she was in Northport. It's about 10 minutes long, and it's amazing.
Okay, great. I'll definitely check it out. So that's so cool. I just was assuming that you had been an artist before and then you sort of got into this, but it sounds like it's all 100% spirit led and they're just taking over, and that's really awesome. I definitely am going to check that out.
Yeah, no, I've seen some of her doodles. She can't draw for crap.
What word was that again?
Listen. So, speaking of drawing, my lovely daughter has arranged it so I can show some of Sandy's work. And
wow.
Sandy, do you want to tell us about this beautiful young woman?
I will actually, because she is transiting this world. She stood in the gateway to spirit, symbolically, obviously. She stood in the gateway. She's seen all the beautiful flowers that are ahead, and she stops and she turns and she takes a look back before she steps through. And, what is she saying? What does her face say to you? It would be interesting to see what each of you think she's actually saying or feeling. Any takers on that? But yes, she's transiting through to the spirit world.
Denise, what emotes from this photo for you, dear?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll remember you.
I'll remember you, yes.
Lovely.
For sure. That is one of them, yes. The pictures, believe it or not, change over time. I can do black and white ones, which I often do, and they will just turn into colored pictures without any input from me at all.
Wow.
It's another thing Leo gets up to.
Now I want to, come on, my mouse is, it is Mercury retrograde, so my mouse is problematic. So this is another example of your work where you have two spirits you drew. This would be what you talked about that earlier. Sometimes you're bringing the evidence coming through concerns one, even though it's another one being drawn, and that would be a case here where grandma's bringing in the baby.
Actually, the lady in the audience who that was drawn for, that was her brother. He died in a house fire at about that age. And that the other one behind is her mother. So it's her mother and brother, in fact. But she never knew about the little brother. Never knew until she asked family about it, you know, who could that be? And they came out with a photo. So yeah,
Wow.
her mother and brother.
And here's another one.
Oh, yes. A little bit younger, I think, there, but you can see that it's him. You know, I don't know the story behind this one, unfortunately.
That's okay, but
yeah,
you know, they're compelling as that they look alike.
Yeah, that's fairly obvious, isn't it? The little girl at the bottom looking. It's, you know, there's something about the child's makeup, if you like, isn't there? There's some little compromise there, I feel, don't you?
Yes.
Mm.
But the portrait you drew is, you know, right on as far as being an amazing, what's the word I'm looking for, rendition. Now
It is Leo.
Right, I understand that. Leo is the one that does the work. Now, an interesting story. Spirit created an experience for me, which ended up forming the basis of my meet and greet your guides. And I got a new guide that was coming through me when I was sitting in the cabinet. And in the process of trying to understand who he was, I was getting all these clues. And one of the things that happened was Sandy was listening to an interview of me, and I talked about the experience. I didn't know who he was yet. She went into trance in England and drew this portrait and then sent it to me, which helped me when I was Googling historical figures, etc., trying to find out who this gentleman was that was helping me with my trance healing work. And eventually I was able to locate this. Whoops, how did I do that? I wonder if I could put two of up at the same time. And no. Okay. So anyway, I learned he gave me plenty of other factual information, but her portrait really assisted in me recognizing who my new guide was for healing. And then you went on to do some beautiful guides. Here's one of the ones that you've drawn, right? There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. So this would be an example of a guide, right, Sandy?
Yes, indeed, yes. Not quite sure where she's from. A bit of a, I don't know, maybe Arab look. Again, I don't know. I don't pretend to know who I'm drawing. Leo does them, and you know, unless he writes something, I don't know. But she's very. I love that sort of "I am looking at you," you know, expression.
The eyes,
and I've got your back, you know. So I like that picture. I love that picture. Have you got her animated?
Yes.
Can you do it?
I don't know. Well, I'll press the play and we'll see what happens.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
It's a bit good, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's just so, I don't know, alive, so feeling. I just think that picture's amazing. I think it's one of the most favorite I've ever done. Although that first one shown, I did love that picture. I'd intended to keep it actually, but then I met somebody who really loved the picture and I gifted it to him. So, now then, we know this chap.
Yeah, so
He's a
one
bit screwed up.
yeah, this is Master Tang. He's my philosophy guide, and he'd already come through, but Sandy had not seen him, and she drew this for me as a beautiful gift when she stayed here. And let's see if I can pull up the right, yeah. So this is me sitting for transfiguration, and you'll notice there's glasses, and I look bald. I'm really not bald, see? So he was coming through and starting the transfiguration process. And then she drew that beautiful portrait. And except her glasses were square and the ones that would form on my face were circular, but it was right on. So many mediums, particularly physical mediums, we like to have these beautiful spirit portraits hanging in our sacred space. It just kind of completes the energy. I mean, people look at him in my office and they receive healing just by looking at him.
That's true.
Yeah, when I receive a portrait from Sandy, the energy is just off the charts. And anytime you gaze upon these portraits, because they're drawn with spirit energy, they use her hands, and she's spirit, we're all spirit, but it's an amazing experience. So I strongly encourage people, if you are curious to have a portrait of your guide done. Sandy is doing exquisite work. I know there's a wait for you, but
funnily enough, I've been absolutely inundated with painting requests, but I'm just now catching up. So we're on no 6 to 8 week wait, which it was because there were so many. So we've actually got pretty much under control now. So, and I did put the message out on my group page that I would now accept a few. So the inevitable happens, zoom, zoom, zoom. But I love it and I love doing them.
Sandy, speaking of your group page, do you remember the name of it? I'll put it in the chat room for people if they want to go check it out.
Sandy Ingham, spirit artist or medium spirit artist, appreciation group. I think it was set up for me by someone else who's been absolutely amazing. Yeah, but it's fairly easy to join should you want to, and that features only my work. You know, it's all about the paintings, how the mediums have felt about them, and it's really meant a lot to. So I'm trying not to look at Kim because her mum's back. Oh, there she is. I thought you'd left us. Okay. I don't want to get sidetracked here. I'm sorry. What was I saying?
Sandy, I'm curious. Do you have you mentioned you're doing paintings now? Because I know you used to use chalk. What is your preferred?
Chalk, I've never used chalk. It's carbon. Well, what is Leo's preferred way? He loves them all, of course, but he particularly loves something that didn't exist in his time, and we call them pan pastels. It's just like a pan about as big as the palm of your hand, and the pigment in it is absolutely pure. They're very expensive, but they're worth it. You know, they're worth it for the finish that he likes to get. But he's worked in oils, but they take too long to dry, you know, so it wasn't practical to do the guide paintings that way. So he's doing them in the pan pastels. And they're beautiful. He does a really lovely job with them. And plenty of detail in them, which I like, as you know. Yeah.
We have somebody with a question, Vaughn.
Yvonne?
Hi,
Which one?
sorry. Hi. How are
Hi.
you, Sandy?
I'm good,
Yes.
thank you, darling. On top of the world, as ever.
That's great. It's nice to see you again.
I've got the best job in the world. I'm going to be on top of the world.
Mm.
So you did 2 portraits for me when you
Did
were
I?
when you were in Northport. Yeah, my dad had just passed and my uncle like right around each other, and you did both of them at the same time. It was beautiful.
Wow.
So
That's
I thank
exactly
you for
what I
that.
mean.
But I do have
Oh,
a question. I know you do the guides and all that stuff, but I don't have a picture of my grandmother who has been with me my whole life. She passed when I
yeah, she was
before I
young.
was born.
She was
So I
quite
was
young
wondering-
herself.
There's no pictures of her. I've never seen her in the flesh, only in my vision.
I can
So
see her.
I know that if you were to draw her, that I would recognize her.
Oh, you would? Yes.
Right. So do you do that?
Mm,
You do
I do.
that. So
Yeah.
how do I get that? I have to go on your website?
Well, you'd go onto my website and you would book
Okay.
either a postal portrait or a painting, depending how you want to see her.
Right.
My work is not expensive anyway, but I like for people to have the opportunity to have their guides and their families. We do, even in the guides, many of them come through and are actually family or have been.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that she's been with me my whole life. I saw her when I was a young child, like maybe 3 years old, at the foot of my bed.
Mm.
She passed when my mom was 9, so I never got to see her physically here.
She was only young herself.
Right, I know. I
Oh,
know.
of course you do.
She was
Just
in her
what she's
30s
saying.
when she passed, yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
but there's no pictures.
But
So,
all I can say to you is, if you book it, go through my website.
right,
When you send me or text me, I need you to do one or the other. If it's in color, then obviously I will need to speak to you, I think, although I can see her and I know that Leo would draw her. But if it's black and white and you fill out a form, which you can download or rather print off my website, I have a website manager. I wouldn't have a clue what to do with it myself.
right, I'm
But
taking the challenge too.
you can actually print off the form and hand write it. It's very important that it's handwritten because I need to touch you. I need to touch your energy. And I
Okay.
do this by touching your handwriting.
Okay,
So you would do that. And then I would simply say, Leo, can we draw this lady's grandma? But many people are likely to pass through my system between now and when or if you do that. So when or if you do that,
I'd like
make
to.
a note to me, please, that I
I will.
spoke to you here tonight and I connected with your grandma. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's okay. I'm so pleased you got your dad and your.
It was beautiful. And I knew it as you drew one eye on both sides.
Oh, did
And I
I?
knew exactly who they both were. One is my godfather and one is my dad. And I knew immediately who they were. And I said to my daughter who was with me, that's my Uncle Richie and my dad. And then you continued to draw and you were writing stuff like and Winter was talking and you were writing stuff and asking questions. She was asking questions and I was like, I can take it. So yeah, but I knew immediately that exactly who it was just by one eye on each side of the page.
Leo always says, if you don't recognize what happens to the face in age, you'll always know those eyes.
Right. The eyes were incredible.
Eyelids will tend to droop. Look.
Yeah.
But
I actually sent the
eye-
picture of my uncle to my cousins, and they were sobbing because he has 3 children, and they were like, "Where did you get this?" And I said, "Well, I sent them your website." So
strange woman on the internet.
I know.
She
No,
lives thousands of miles away, but she draws pictures of dead people. It's amazing.
Wow.
I hear this all the time and it amuses me.
so thank you very much. I'll be in
Oh.
touch.
Yes, okay, John. Thank
Thank
you. And it's Yvonne.
Yvonne Giovinco.
So I thought it was. I didn't know how to say it. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh,
Yvonne is
that's
fine.
so
Yvonne,
pleased for you.
Thank you.
Yvonne used to sit in Shambhala Circle. So
Okay.
you got to meet her a couple times, not at the Dam. And
Yeah.
I
then,
did.
yeah, when you
Yeah.
sat with our circle.
And I'm never sort of fully grounded, when we're working. It's
You're not fully grounded when you're staying with me.
Are any of us ever grounded?
Right.
My
Perhaps
father
not.
in spirit serenades
Oh,
Sandy
he does.
whenever she visits. You want to tell them that story?
I will tell them that story because I didn't know. And I'd get up in the morning and I would be singing a song. I don't know whether you know it. It's My Funny Valentine, Sweet Funny Valentine. And I get up singing this every morning. And we were out about to get in the car. And I said, there must be some kind of Valentine memory for somebody you're going to read for today. Oh, no, that'll be my dad, she says. He's Valentine. So, yes, honestly, if ever we're connected, I know that Val is not far behind. He's usually around.
He likes to flirt with the pretty ladies.
This is an old woman.
No, not in his eyes, goof.
Oh,
Mari, was there anything? I feel like I'm hogging the thing here. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's like, because I hadn't met Sandy until today, and I'm just fascinated with, I definitely want to watch that video of you drawing with 2 hands, because I've worked with other spirit artists, but not somebody that does it with 2 hands at the same time. So that's really
Leo.
okay. Well, it's you and Leo, sort of the combo. You're working together, right? You're a team. But no, I'm fascinated, and I think it's amazing that you were able to show her work, Winter, and I'm glad that that you were able to do a little bit of a reading. I'm just fascinated with the whole method, because I don't really, I don't do that type of work, and I'm just grateful that you came on the show. You're an amazing guest, and I'm sure that we're going to get a lot of feedback about you, about the work that you do. And, I might even be contacting you too, so you can do some drawings for me. So, I'm grateful to being here. So thank you.
It's really nice to have spirit guide portraits in your space. It just raises the vibration if you're working, with them. The other thing was, Mari, just so you understand the process from our perspective, you and I being the demonstrating mediums. When I'm working with Sandy, Sandy's in a trance, so she has no clue as to what's going on. So I'm keeping an eye on her, because I always tell the audience, I will tackle you if you go near my medium, my pets artist. And then I'm connected to Leo. I'm connected to my team that's connected to the spirit communicators, where it's kind of like we're doing several split links at the same time, because Leo's and the spirits are also connected with Sandy, and it's an intense demonstration. It's not, when I do a regular demonstration, it's just me, it is calm. But when I'm working with Sandy and Leo, and then Leo picks on you. I'm a good sport about it, but he, God forbid you make a slight error, he starts picking on you and having her write things on the paper. And you got to stand there with a straight face and try to backpedal and get it right. And it's I love to do it over and over again because I like intensity, not like 24/7 intensity, but doing those types of demonstrations are so intense. I encourage you, if you get to work with someone, and have you done any demonstrations with a spirit artist?
I have. I've worked with Nancy Smith, and she does spirit art. But she works a little bit differently. Like when we did like a demonstration with the three of us. And so she would start to draw, she would have her link, and then we would try to sort of tap in. So I'm not sure if her process is, if I'm sure she's in some type of a trance, but I'm not sure, what she would call it. I haven't really talked to her that much about it. But I have worked with her, but it felt a lot more separate than the way you're talking about working, as you're sort of, sounds like you're working as a unit, the two of you together and Leo. But when
all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. But when I've worked with Nancy, it was more like she was working and drawing somebody, and then I would sort of tap in and give some information, some evidential information. So it felt a little bit more separate, and I know everybody works differently. That's why I'm fascinated with, your process, and, I would definitely love to see it. So I think it's it's an amazing work that you do. So thank you.
There's an awful lot of stuff out there about Leo and I working. In fact, earlier this year, March 26, actually, it came out, a TV documentary and a 6-part series.
Oh, wow. Where could you see that? Is it on?
It's private. Well, it's not private. It's on Iconic TV. Iconic.
Okay.
And it's set up really by David Icke's family.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody heard of David Icke?
Yes.
No?
No, I have, yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I met him, you see. I met David, and we talked at great length, solidly, for 2 weeks. It was very exciting. And he wanted me to do this documentary, so I said I would. But one or two interesting things that happened in the film itself. They asked me to demonstrate Leo working. So out comes Leo. We sit down. He picks up his pencil. My face changes. Have you seen what he's done to my bottom lip? When he's working, my face sets into his mannerisms, and he's got this really protruding bottom lip. So my top lip somehow disappears, and his bottom one comes out. It's not a pretty sight, but that's what he does to me. So I sit down, and I can see my face changing as I'm watching the film back before it went on air. And they asked me to demonstrate Leo working, you see, with my hands. And we sat and drew the lead cameraman's dad. And that was pretty shocking for him. But Leo really pulled out the stops for this documentary film. So, drawing the cameraman's dad, and also the producer and presenter, is it, that we call her? I picked up her dad, and we talked about him too, and they've left it all in the documentary, which surprised me. Sorry, can somebody place me a Tish or Trish or something that sounds like that? Tisha, Trisha, Letitia. I don't know what that is. Can anybody place that for me?
Checking the Facebook. We're streaming live on a couple of platforms, Sandy.
I wouldn't have a clue about this, but
right.
I want somebody that understands a Tish or Trisha or something.
Well, so what that means is your group is able, anybody tuning into your Facebook group, I shared it to them so they can see you. So it might be one of them. I don't know how to access all the platforms.
Whoever it is will know. And by the way, Jeanette, your mum loves the hair. Really cheered you up, that, didn't it? She came too. She came to keep an eye on it, because if it was made a mess of, she was going to give him a slap. She's not Mary Ann, is she? Mum, Mary Ann? Or is Anne somebody else? She's frozen again.
She's
As soon as
frozen.
I go near them. Sorry. Anne.
She's
Mary
muted.
Ann? She's
Kim is
muted.
muted.
Unmute yourself, girl.
Hair. That's because
Oh.
Jeanette used to have a different hair color. And I used to tell her, go darker, get rid of all that the color in your
I had
hair.
red.
She had red. And I
Ah,
think she looks better in dark.
it does look
And she
nice.
finally
Your
did
mum-
it.
Is your mum
Thank you.
Mary Ann or is Anne someone else?
Oh, that's my cousin from England who recently passed.
Hello from her too then. Is that okay? Needless to say, she's
Thank
met
you.
up with all your family. Sorry about this. She just got me again.
Oh, that's what she
That's
would
what we
do.
figured she would do.
Well, again, that's how we're balancing the balancing everything. Kim does so much as a volunteer for the Eyes of Learning.
Yeah.
So, Sandy, do you have any of, let's say, Zoom type events? I know you're doing in-person events.
You know I'm
Or
allergic
by where
to.
you live, but like if people wanted to see you work, and they're here.
Other than what's out there already,
Gotcha.
I've nothing planned to do. I mean, a whole huge number of people have asked me to do a workshop, teach the art, but I haven't even done that. I can't remember. I think it might have been Brandon who did the last one for me. Oh no, I've had another since then. But no, I'm not. I'm allergic to technology. Really, it just I dislike it intention.
I know. It's just that we
Not
miss you.
intentionally, intensely.
Yes, but we miss you. We love you. We just can't all come over to Cornwall.
Mm. I have been
Well, I plan
invited.
to when I'm almost on solid feet, so I do plan to get back there and come and see you. I just had to
Okay.
get back on solid legs.
Okay,
And I
good.
think Rhoda would like to.
Yeah, she's looking
Mari.
amazing.
Yeah, isn't she? She's talking about my youngest daughter, if you guys don't know, who calls her Granny Sandy.
Oh,
So
I want that lady there. Sorry, I want the lady with the glasses and the grey hair.
oh, that's Terry. How? Oh, please come to Terry.
Yes.
I don't have a choice. Terry, I think your dad's upstairs, isn't he? Sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
I should explain that. I don't use the words dead and alive. They're emotive words in my book. So for me, when they passed away, they've gone upstairs and we are all here. We're all downstairs. And I'm sure you all know there is no downstairs. Devil and demons, no, they don't exist, except in this world, and they do walk on two legs. However, I've got your dad here.
Okay.
And I know there've been some changes around your life of late, and he's knowing that too. And I think a health issue is one of them. Health issue.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Is that yours, darling, or family?
Husband.
It's your husband, yeah. This is something that needs to be managed, okay?
Yes.
You understand that? They all know about it upstairs. His mum's here, I think. That's his mum coming in there. Your husband's mum. And she's with him almost constantly, you know, rounding him up and getting him up on, making him feel better. And I want to say to you, don't worry at this time, you know, it's manageable for now. Yeah.
Okay.
And relax. Oh, and apparently he's a bit, what was that word? Be careful, this is live. Just a minute. Frustrated.
Yeah.
Frustrated, and it's all your fault. Everything's your fault. His fault.
Exactly.
Everybody's fault, but his fault. Yeah.
Yes.
You obviously know that that's not the real him, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Because
it's still hard, but I do.
Isn't that typical of a mother-in-law to say that, eh? Without a doubt. So she's very much aware there. Now, is it you? Have you got the Margaret or the Marjorie name somewhere?
Do I have the what?
Margaret or Marjorie? Margaret, Marjorie?
Yes, I do.
Who's that to you?
Grandmother, husband's grandmother, I
Oh,
believe.
well, she's here too. She's here
Okay.
too. So they're all in your corner. Okay.
Thank you.
So little chin up. And if he keeps ragging at you, give him a slap. Tell him his mum and his grandma said that.
Okay.
Do you know what? Very unusual name. Sounds like Sybil or Cyril. Can anybody find? I'm not doing this. Sorry. I do keep telling them I'm not doing this. Sybil or Cyril or something.
Not Sierra, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, not Sierra.
Let me check my Facebook page if anybody
Oh, it's
I
either
know.
Cyril or Sybil. It's that sort of sound of a name. I forget other people are listening in as well. And
Yeah, that's why I try to get people to come in on the Zoom room, but sometimes they just see it playing and they tune in out there. Just to give a shout out, Tara, Linda, Robert, Jenny, Barbara, Lynette. So we have a few that have commented.
have we? How does that work? Is there any response needed to these comments?
No, we just had one lady ask a question, Tara Costello. There was an incident with her son recently. I'd like to know if it will be okay for him. Yeah, I don't see a problem coming out of the incident. I see just kind of some reverberations. I'm sorry, puzzle issues. Reverberations, and then it just kind of goes away.
Sorry, can I just answer that? I've just got the response there. The son, did she say? Her son. He's going through some stuff. He's very much, even if you don't know it, traumatized by what's going on in the world because he's seeing it. He doesn't know how to deal with it. I do think that he's away from his comfort zone and he's showing it. He will come back online if that helps at all. Does she understand any of that? We'll get him back online.
Sandy, this is the problem with going live. I don't even know if she's still there. She was at the beginning of the that's why I do ask people to, if they can, but not everybody can. Maybe they're driving a car and they can't tune into the Zoom room.
Oh, of course not. No, we don't want any of that.
Speaking of which, guys, if you missed part of it and you want to hear, we've shown some of Sandy's beautiful work and she talked about some stories. This has all been recorded and it's available on either Mari's YouTube page or my YouTube page. So if you missed part of it or you want to rewatch something, by all means, it's there. And we're getting towards the close of the show, so I do want to ask Mari, do you want to tell anybody what your upcoming events are? Because I know you do a lot of interviews. You're all over the place.
I know. Well, when Sandy was talking, it's like I actually had to shut down my booking because I was booking 8 months out. And I was like, okay, I need to just catch up on everybody that's coming in. And so I took a little break in terms of taking new bookings. But as soon as I catch up on my wait list, I'll open that back up again. And yeah, I love to do the interviews. People are asking me to be on podcasts and shows and stuff, and just to sort of, like what you do, Winter, just sort of get the message out there, like this is happening, this is in the world. And, I get a lot of feedback from people saying, oh, I heard the interview and it was really helpful. So since I can't remember anything either, I had to write everything down. So I'm going to be on Sovereign Self, which is on Voice America. with Sophia Renee Morales. We haven't set the date yet, but I'm working on that. Probably be, I'll definitely be in the fall. And then I'll also be on the Self-Discovery Network November 1st. I believe that's a video show as well. So I'll put up all the links on my website, which is mediamari.com. And I'm also going to be booking another show, The Ghostly Hour, which is on KCOR Radio with David Cook. That's probably going to be mid-November. But all my events and everything are on my website, which is mediamari.com. And you can also find me on, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the usual places. But I just want to say thank you to Sandy. I mean, I think you're amazing. I'm going to book my session with you because I want you to do you and Leo to do some drawings for me. I'm just fascinated because I'm not artistic at all. And I just couldn't even imagine working in that way. But thank you so much for being on the show. I think you've been a fabulous guest.
Do you know who Leo is?
He's one of your guides, I was assuming.
He's Da Vinci.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's
Yeah, well, I
because
don't know. Did I miss that part, or I just assumed it was one of your guides? So
he's
Leo
just Leo. Is the
Oh.
man. He is the man.
Wow. Well, that's why the work is so good. That's so cool. So you're the person that does the drawings through you is Leonardo da Vinci, which in case anybody missed that, because apparently I did. That makes it even more awesome. So I'm definitely going to contact you. So thank you for being on. That was just fabulous.
And
that's lovely. Thank you.
Just to let you guys know as well what I have coming up. Well, first of all, Sandy, Sierra just got done. Sierra's my oldest child. She just got done touring Italy for the week, and she saw the David and the museums and the Colosseum.
Yes, all there.
Leo is keeping an eye on her because she went alone as usual, and she's got your adventurous side. Sandy used to live on a boat. With her husband and daughter. So my events coming up. I think I mentioned November 4th, I'm presenting for the Eyes of Learning. It is a Zoom presentation, and I've invited Gary Mannion, who I'm studying with and who's a good friend and colleague of Sandy. He's a physical medium, and we're going to talk about what physical mediumship is. And then in the second half, he's going to do a Q&A in trance, and I'm going to try to join him in trance. So I have two mediums doing trance at the same time. I have October. See, this is what I should have done. I should have written everything down. I didn't bring my calendar.
I get it.
October 4th, there we go. I'm doing a online presentation, a new program, Spirit and Animals. And what it's about is how spirit utilizes animals, whether there are pets or whether they're wild animals, to bring us lessons, understand, to expand our compassion as we do with our own pets, how certain animals will bring messages just by their appearance, or medicine, because maybe we need to be bold like the lion for a job interview. Spirit will bring in lion energy. And of course, I'll do some readings. There's no charge to that program, but you do need to register with Amityville Library. I am teaching trance. This is local on Long Island, guys. This is an in-person for Amityville Apothecary. And I'm starting an 8-week evidential mediumship online course October 5th on Wednesdays from 7 to 9. And it'll be 8 classes for only $333, which is kind of a good deal. So if you're interested in evidential mediumship and learning about how to connect with the other side, this would be a great class for you. There's a few more things, but check, I'll have my newsletter out soon, so you can check that. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Mari, as always. I love working with you. And thanks, Sandy, for taking the time to come and join us tonight and share your gift and understanding with everybody.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
God bless
Great.
everyone.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I didn't speak to that beautiful young lady up there with the long blonde hair. I didn't speak to her. I don't know who Oh, it's okay.
That's okay. I think
Denise.
you can shut down the
It's
stream
fine.
and you can talk to her. She's